Hello, all. Welcome back to Castle Kenobi Episode 2. Now, this episode is the episode I have just more than a few issues with because there's a lot of stuff, and if you miss certain things, it's like because it's going to a point to where some of it kind of goes over your head because of what you're paying attention to. And on the second viewing, especially, I saw some stuff that I was like, I cannot believe I missed that. That being said, let's get into this episode. Some spoilers. I cannot talk about it without talking about spoilers, and there's not a whole lot to spoil because there's not a lot that happens outside. You get to meet this television show's Baby Yoda, Leia, Princess Leia. Now, it's clear this show wants to focus on this kid. That being said, she's cute. They're probably going to make a plushie out of her. Every time you see the plushie, you'll get the little oohs and ahs that the girls make. That being said, oh, she gets kidnapped. Kenobi, I can't remember the guy's name. Ogana contacts him. My old friend, they've come and got my daughter. You have to save her. And I'm here to say, I'm watching the boy. And it is said multiple times his sister is just as important. Multiple times. And I'm not dissing that. I'm just saying that was their job to watch over. Anyway, and it turns out that Reba hired these mercs to go kidnap a senator's daughter. And she goes and plays in the woods apparently a lot. Well, they've been scouting this place out apparently for a while. They know that she goes to the woods. They stop her. This is one of the stupidest points in the show, and I'm not spoiling anything. It's just totally retarded. They have her in a triangle, and they're just feet from a little bitty girl that's 10 years old, and this little bitty girl out. She runs past them, and it's just the stupidest chase of all time. She goes, she jumps or goes under a limb, and they just quit running after her. And I'm like, what is this supposed to? What is this supposed to portray? I don't understand. Doesn't matter. So they finally catch her. They kill one of the guards and take her off world. Of course, nobody's. I guess nobody else tried to stop them. They just got off world. And I can't. I don't know where they took her to. It doesn't matter. Kenobi, he reluctantly goes and helps. Now, the first episode, you had him tell a Jedi, go bury your lightsaber and forget about it. Well, he goes to the middle of the desert. How he knew how he remembered it's been 10 years, he buried his lightsabers literally, literally a foot deep. Like, it ain't even, there's this little bitty mound of sand, and there they are. It just don't even look like he's that deep. And I'm sitting here and I'm laughing, not for the right reasons. I shouldn't be laughing at this, but I am. Like, they could have at least CGI'd it to where it was a deep pit. It ain't. I like, how did he know how to find it there? Because there are some issues. Because some people, he used the Force. Did he, though? We'll revisit that. So he leaves the planet. And when he gets to whatever planet that she went to, it's clear he is a fish out of water. He has lost all. General Kenobi does not have a clue. He is fumbling and bumbling, and he's walking up to people like he really doesn't know how to ask for help or ask them what he should be at. It's amazing just to watch how I'm looking for such and such. have you seen? I'm sitting here going, this is Obi-Wan Kenobi. You know, Jedi mind trick. I mean, and I'm going. You haven't seen him use his Jedi powers yet. That's one canon. That's one. That's the first one that was canon breaking to me. He didn't have a clue. He did not. He was acting like he didn't even know how to use the Force. So he goes. Some kid sees him and says, "I could take you to a Jedi, fake Jedi." So he takes him to this fake Jedi, and and Obi-Wan calls him out. So, he pulls out. So you've been tricking people with magnets, and it's so he tells him that he can help him. The very next scene, he's just standing in front of a house. Some random alien comes walking out like he's half drunk, and how Kenobi knew how to follow him? Nothing. I no clue. He just follows him, and then leads him to where he needs to be because plot, and we need to move along. Meanwhile, you have Reva, which is now there because they're anticipating him coming, and he's looking through, and he opens the door, and there's this little made up doll. It's supposed to be, and of course they catch him. He gets this spice. I can't really remember where he got the spice from, but he gets the spice, throws it down, it blows up, and they're sitting there on. He escapes, and they're in La La. The captors are in La La Land. So he goes down a couple of doors, opens the door, and there's Leia. Leia's already cut herself out of. She's out of her ropes, and she's not a captive anymore, and she's waiting for him to come to where she's going to hit him with something. I mean, it's they're just going over the top to try to make her. She's a 10-year-old kid. I mean, she's not going to hurt these guys. She has to realize that. It's just contrived. And so Leia has seen Obi-Wan's face. She gets to know him, and then she's like, they're out in the middle of nowhere, and he's explaining to her, trying to gain trust with her. And I know your father, and if you're a Jedi, and she figures out because he has his lightsaber on his side, you're a Jedi. Make me float, and it's like, I can't make you float here in the middle. I mean, he could have done, there should have been something he could have done, like bring a little ball or motion a little something and bring it to him. See, I'm a Jedi. Shut up. Come on, let's get this over with. But of course, they couldn't let that happen. And they run down an alley that is visited more than one time in this show. This guy has a wrist. Everybody has these wristbands that has his picture, and they're everywhere. No one can find him except for one lizard and a robot, and there was 3 people that wound up being on the rooftops with him. But that lizard, I don't know how he knew that Ben Kenobi was going to be on the. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. So he picks up this communicator that has his face basically wanted, and Leia says, you're the reason I'm here. You kidnapped me, even though she knows who kidnapped him. It's stupid. And they run across. She climbs a ladder, gets on top of the roof. Why? Kenobi is running after this kid, and literally just feet behind her, can't catch her. There's several instances where she's just right there. All he had to do was just lean forward and grab her. Didn't do it because, we had the little chase scene. Had to get to the roof. She gets on the roof, and she's jumping over these houses. And I knew where this was headed. I'm sitting there going, she's going to fall. And I was waiting for it to happen. She's going to fall. He's going to finally use the Force. And this is a major canon breaking moment, right? I'm about to get into. So once they get to one little spot where the gap is there's no way she's making this jump. Not at 10 years old. Probably not even, later on. Maybe a Jedi can make the jump. She ain't making it. And this lizard thing finds them, and it is literally the funniest thing. They are sitting there shooting each other, and they can't even get close to hitting each other. It's just pew pew, and he misses him. And the lizard isn't even behind anything. He's just out in the open, and he is nowhere. He's nowhere near him. And the lizard's shooting back at Obi-Wan Kenobi, and he's nowhere near Obi-Wan Kenobi either. But I will give it credit. He is behind some cover. And of course, Leia finally jumps. She didn't make it. Shock. And just before she hit the ground, he's sitting there straight this is the hardest thing he's ever done in his life. And you can tell that. I'm like, so okay, if he wasn't using the Force because he give up, how did he find his lightsabers? And the other thing, and this is major in my opinion, this is a major canon breaking thing. Reva knew Anakin Skywalker was Darth Vader. Now, I can forgive her for Leia Organa, but if this is now new canon, why did they leave Luke Skywalker's name alone? Why did they not change his name? I mean, it's stupid. Anyway, they finally, I'm not going to go through all the little details, but they finally get to the point to where they're at somewhere with a ship, automative, I don't know, where they send ships off with just, I can't remember what they called it, but a distributor, and he has a tool or a device, was given a device that he's going to hack it, and she comes out, Reva comes out, and all she does is just basically yell at him and pace back and forth, and then the Grand Inquisitor, I don't care, it doesn't matter, she kills him, and says, "You honestly think I'm going to let you take all the credit?" Now, that being said, this, I don't know where on the timeline this is at. I've got to look into this. But is this before or after Rebels? Because if this is before Rebels, he's in Rebels. The Grand Inquisitor is in Rebels. How would they kill him here? Is he still alive? And why would she mortally wound someone that's going to be her boss, someone that's supposed to, unless the show's going to make her the new Grand Inquisitor, which I wouldn't be surprised, simply because she is the one that got Kenobi there, and Vader's going to, "You're the best of the best. I'm going to make you the head." And that could happen next episode. I'm just throwing this stuff out. If I'm right, I'm right. But this video is already way too long. It is clear as day. Disney does not care about canon. They don't care about the past. It is literally kill the past, let it die. And don't waste your time yet. Like I said, if by some miracle they turn this show around, and it is going to have to be a miracle, I see this, it's just going to go downhill every week. I will tell you if the show gets better. I promise you, I don't care. Either way, I'm pretty much out of it anyway after this last episode. Because little Leia, all that is this television or this show's Baby Yoda, and that's all she is. She is there to be cute, and that's it. At least she can speak. I'll give it that. But this was to me, it was a 5 out of 10 episode. It's just, And that's all I've got for the day. Thanks for watching. If you're still watching this long, I will see you guys next video.